Turn away thine eyes from me, for they have overcome me. Thou art beautiful, O my love. Who is she that looketh forth as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, terrible as an army with banners?
Me?
And one of King Solomon's wives. Return, return, O Shulamite. Return, return, that we may look upon thee.
I'm right here.
Gosh, that's... Julie, do you mean... Are you sure you mean it?
It wasn't just an impulse, Ives. I love you. I love you, and I couldn't stand it any longer. I thought you'd never kiss me. 5 years on the same road, and it just came over me. There. Had to say it quickly or never.
Only I can't believe it. It's more than I ever expected. Julie.
Oh, I do mean it, Ives. Let's go to Upton and get married. Today. Shall we? Shall we?
You really would?
Of course I would. Come on. I dare us to get married.
I couldn't now. I'm not anybody yet.
What's that got to do with it, you silly?
It's got everything to do with it. Everything. I want to be important enough for you. And Julie, if you'll wait for me, I will be. Maybe I'm just young and foolish, but I want our love to be something different. Something great. Something holy. Julie, you will wait for that.
Yes, I'll wait for that. But don't make me wait any longer if you're ever going to kiss me.
Downstairs. She's ready to go. Julie, you hear me? What's the matter?
Nothing. Nothing. I was asleep, I guess.
Is Ives going to drive you and Carol into Upton this afternoon?
No. His mother wants him to stay home and string some silly lights on their Christmas tree. Carol and I have to go on that filthy little train.
Well, that's a very simple problem to solve. Old Mr. Morris has nearly finished our tree, so I'll get him to go over to Mrs. Towner's, relieve Ives of his job, and he can go with you.
I don't want him to go.
Well, but I thought you...
The only reason we're going to Upton is to buy Ives Christmas presents, so if he went along, it would be silly.
I see. Well, you mustn't blame Ives for not going with you when you don't want him to go yourself.
I'm being unreasonable, I know. It's just that I never get to see Ives anymore. All year he's at college, and we never get a chance to be alone. Or have any fun, or go dancing.
I know. But don't you think Ives feels the same way as you do?
I suppose so.
Do you think he enjoys staying at home with that gabby old mother of his? When he loves you so much, he doesn't know what to do. You've got to be patient, Julie, that's all.
I'm tired of being patient.
Yes, but I
know Ives' father was a great man and wrote famous books, and Ives is going to follow in his footsteps and have a great career. I want him to have a career, too. But, oh, I don't know what I want. I'm being horrible, aren't I?
You certainly are.
Forgive me, Aunt William.
Julie! Hey, do you think we ought to go? It's getting awfully cold outside, and Agatha says the sky looks like a blizzard.
Marvelous.
See how funny it looks?
Now, hold your horses, young woman. If there's any chance of a blizzard, you don't leave this house.
Oh, but Aunt William, I've got to go to Upton to pick out Ives' Christmas present.
Please let her go, Aunt William.
Haven't I, Carol?
Yes, you see, she knows Ives so much better than I do, even if I am his sister, that she's going to pick out both presents, hers and mine.
Oh, please, darling. Please let me go.
Oh, all right. Only hurry back. The party starts at 8.
Oh, we would miss the party.
And no foolishness on the way now.
No.
Hurry back.
What are you looking for, Ives? An old pressed flower? I'm having an argument with Aunt William. Oh, hi, Bill. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, fellas.
Hi, Tony.
Hi. It's a smooth party Julie's giving, but where's Julie? Hey, Tony, look at Carol. What's your dream girl so grim about? I don't know. She's always grim when I'm having a good time. Heraclean, that's it. Heraclean, that's what I was trying to say, Aunt William. It all started in Heraclean, Greece.
What all started?
But don't you remember? What we were arguing about, decline and fall of civilization.
But I still don't agree with you. Nothing whatever to do with Periclean Greece. Don't tell me there were sheiks and flappers dancing the varsity drag on the Parthenon.
Well, there very likely were.
Oh, Ives, you're just stubborn.
Well, I don't like to say it, Aunt William, but you're sort of stubborn yourself. Gee, Julie, you don't suppose anything's happened to her, do you?
Ives Towner, if you'd been Julie Weir's fiancé for the 18 years that I've been her aunt, you'd know that she never yet got home in time for one of her own parties. And never will.
Look, I wasn't going to tell you, but I'm scared. Julie and I had a race this afternoon from Upton. We hired sleds from Livermore's, and I won.
Well?
Well, I took the new road, and Julie took the old Milford road.
Hello, Alison. Merry Christmas, Alison. Get me the constable, Carol Towner. Will you and Julie never grow up? Hello, Teague. Merry Christmas, Teague. Listen, my niece, Julie Weir, is lost somewhere on the old Milford Road in a sleigh. You'll please look for her.
Where's Ives Towner? Up the road. Well, come on, boys. Don't stand around. Let's spread out.
Julie! Julie! Zeke!
Elliot!
May I stay here a minute? I shouldn't be surprised if I were dying, may I?
Well, of course.
I was racing another girl home from Upton. We hired two sleighs. She took one road and I took the other. I guess it was pretty silly.
Sounds lovely. Well, you better take off your coat.
Ooh. Oh, I can't do a thing about it. My hands are numb.
Oh, good. That gives me a chance to be a hero.
What lovely stroke of fortune brings you in here out of the night?
What?
Now, you'd like something hot to drink, wouldn't you? Coffee? Tea? Gin? Whiskey? By your drink, I shall know you.
Tea.
Okay. Tea. You're not that bobbed-haired bandit I've been reading about, are you? All right, Tea. If you won't be afraid of me, I won't be afraid of you.
May I use your telephone?
Who do you want to call?
My Aunt William.
I haven't any telephone. Wouldn't it be funny if you had to stay here all night? Oh, you needn't worry. I shan't attack you. No, where I come from, they call me Gentle Michael.
Where's that?
New York. I'm just up here to do some writing.
Oh, so that's it. You're a writer. Do people really publish what you write?
Yes, the wrong people. You see, I've got to make a living, so I write trash to keep alive. That's a trash. Confession story. That one's slated for the March issue of I Tell All. It's a true story of a girl named Lala Wrigley. I am Lala Wrigley. But look, I'm terribly glad you came in. I'm awfully glad to meet you. I'm Michael Shaw.
I'm Julie Weir.
Happy Christmas, Julie Weir. Well, don't you think all this gallantry deserves something a little fancier than tea? Say a little bathtub gin?
Well, perhaps.
Good. Well, you could be squeezing some oranges if you could. That's lovely. It's fresh this morning, smell it. It's fun talking to you, Julie. You're like a lovely new sheet of paper to write on. Oh, not white paper or yellow paper, but something enchanting and new and inviting, like Lake Geneva at 7 in the evening, just turning cobalt for the night. You think I'm crazy, don't you?
I know you are.
You're lovely.
You use the word lovely an awful lot.
Oh, you think that means I'm delicate? I'm not. I've been in jail.
What?
Yes, there was a fight in Paris. At a party, of course. Parties are always my downfall anyway. I'm going back there when I finish this serial. Have you ever been there?
No, but it's my idea of heaven. I wish I were in Paris right this minute, walking down the boulevard rush by and...
Julie, you wouldn't mind if I were walking beside you, would you? Tell me about you. Are you, a nice girl? In love with someone?
Yes, I'm engaged.
What's the lucky gent's name?
Ives Towner.
Never heard of it. Julie, do you know about love?
What do you mean?
Well, have you read Freud? You haven't. Then how do you know you're in love? How do you know anything?
Maybe I don't.
Julie, this is one night in 20,000 nights. Don't you feel that? Tell me things you've never told even yourself. That's all there is to life, anyway. Go on, Julie. You tell me what you dream about at night, and I'll tell you what you've missed. Go on.
Well, it's sort of silly, but the dream I've had most is about a cat. A white cat.
But that's enough. That's lovely. Now I know everything. You see, Freud says white cats signify a suppression of the real self. You silly kid. I know you. You like to talk of adventure and all the good things of life, but you're afraid of them.
I'm not afraid.
Listen, Julie. Shut your eyes.
Why?
Because I'm going to kiss you. Go on, shut your eyes. You won't be so afraid.
I don't want to shut my eyes.
Easy go now.
Fool doctor. Trying to cure your heart by ruining your digestion. Oh, fool. Read it again.
What again? Oh, land's sakes, Aunt William.
Darling, there isn't any way to explain what I have done. But believe me, this impulse is as certain as if it had taken 10 years for me to make up my mind. Michael Shaw and I were married this morning in Brattleboro. Write me at the Hotel Westland, Lexington Avenue, New York. Write me and try to understand. I enclose a note for Ives. Please give it to him yourself. My love to you always, Julie. And I say it once again, that child is a reckless, selfish...
It isn't Julie's fault. Might as well tell Ives to come in. Though I still can't think of anything to say to him. Merry Doomsday, Ives.
How are you, Aunt William?
Well, there have been days when the meaning of existence has seemed a little clearer. Thank you for my nice present, Ives.
The color all right?
It's just what I wanted.
She wrote this for me? You've heard from her yourself? Is she happy?
She thinks she is. From what I can find out about that Shaw person, he's a friend of those cocktail-drinking Bradleys. If he's anything like them, he's just a fast-talking, smoothie nitwit. Ives. Do you know something? You're the only person in the whole world that I admire. Will you allow me to go on admiring you?
You're aiming to trade something on that, Aunt William. What is it?
It's this. I want you to get on the 6 o'clock train for New York. Go to the Hotel Westland on Lexington Avenue and bring that silly girl home. Don't you want to go down there and punch that Shaw man's jaw?
Of course. You're man and wife now.
Man and wife. Julie's just a baby. Ives, please. It's her one chance of happiness. And yours. I beg of you, don't let her go on making such a mistake.
Now remember, don't you butt in when I'm trying to laugh him out of it. He may do anything. Ives, we're in your room. You don't think he'd follow Julie? If only his father were alive. Well, goodness, Ives, we weren't talking about you. You don't need any help or advice. Not with the life you have before you. Ives, dear, you have everything to look forward to. Your father left you a wonderful heritage, and you can be everything he was, the greatest naturalist in America. You have all his work on the protozoa to finish, and possibly a professorship. Oh, just think what lies before you.
Just think of it.
Oh, Ives, you fool. It's not the end of the world, you know. Why, there are stacks of better-looking girls than Julie.
That'll do, Carol.
Besides, Julie never was the sort to settle down to your kind of life. You needed someone who was patient and interested in science, preferably with a talent for drawing. If it hadn't been for my help in drawing specimen plates, your poor father never would have got past the basic protozoa.
Oh, Mother, that's got nothing to do with it. Ives was just going through what all boys go through. Puppy love. The only trouble with him is he's stubborn.
Stubborn?
Yes, stubborn. You won't get it through your head that us young people are different from you, and you won't be young. Why, you haven't the faintest glimmer what love is. You think it's sacred and sweet and all that Victorian rot, and you're the only one left who does.
Ives, where are you going?
I'm going to New York.
Well, whatever made him do that?
And there I was, in my pajamas, you see, and nobody...
The American again, you see. I'm sick and tired of it.
Who will pay for the chandelier, the skylight?
I will, Bruno.
With what, my friend?
Michael, darling, will you please put those dreadful guns away?
No, I will not. Stop. They're the emptiest guns in all Paris now. Hello, everybody! Hi there, George. It's the loveliest party since I got out of jail.
And how is the great American novel coming, Michael?
In my head, every word of it. All I have to do is write it down.
Oh, it's a shame this piano has no strings. It's one of the best compositions that I've ever written.
Well, what is it?
Michael, you must look at it. Really look at it.
All right, I'll have a look at this.
It's Bruno's new technique. Isn't it marvelous?
I smell ketchup.
Exactly. It is a new technique of painting. My invention.
Yeah, that may be all very well, but why does it smell like ketchup?
Because it is ketchup. What?
Exactly. That setting sun is of catsup. That brown earth is of Italian meat sauce. That green grass is of spinach.
Yeah, but I don't get it. Are you serious?
But perfectly, my friend. It is utilitarian.
Bruno, I don't like it.
If you say it so bombastically, you must know why you do not like it.
I do. It smells. And because no matter how good a painting it is today, tomorrow it will be garbage.
Michael, you're a flashy, cheap bully. And someday I shall punch your nose in.
Well, I haven't anything better on for tonight except your dismal party.
Michael, please don't fight this time. If you land in jail again tonight, I don't know what I'll do. The only reason I agreed to leave the baby with that horrible woman and come here with you was to keep you out of trouble. Oh, Michael, please. It's all hard enough for us as it is. You've got to be a little responsible.
I know. Now that I'm a bourgeois father. Okay. I'm sorry, Bruno. I don't want to fight you. Come on, friend. Shake. Well, look. We'll fight it out on the field of honor.
Michael.
Good. Fine. Everybody, we are going to have a duel. Now, you take this gun.
Michael, please,
Oh, go on home, Julie.
No, I can't see. Michael, you stay where you are. Now, are we ready? Yes, we're ready. You will fire between the count of 1 and 3.
But I still say the painting smells.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
A silly way to die, Julie. No sillier than the way I've lived. And made you live. It's a lovely party, Bruno.
Drink all of your milk, Mademoiselle Michel.
My name isn't Michelle, it's Michael. It's my daddy's name.
Well, whatever your name is, drink all of your milk before your mama gets back.
I hate milk.
I hate milk too, but your mama wants you to drink it. If you were my child, you'll be drinking good, strong red wine, and then you would not be always so sick.
Where's Mommy?
She's going to work again, I told you. She will design dresses at Monsieur Jacques Duprez's big store. She's a very wonderful woman. You should love her very much.
I do love her.
You do love her? Then drink your milk.
Hello, Mommy.
Oh, darling. Finish your milk, Michael.
What's the matter, Madame Shaw? They did not like your designs, huh?
I'm sorry, Marie, but you'll have to wait for your money again.
But I can't wait any longer. I told you, il faut que je paye le boucher chaque...
Please, Marie. I've had a charming day already. Monsieur Dupre liked my designs and wanted me to work, but that awful man from the Labor Board refused me because I'm an American. Seems they're not allowing foreigners to make a living anymore.
Why should they? This is France. There are many French people out of work in their own country. My brother, my sister. And even when I work, I get no pay. Why don't you go back to America and try to work there?
I can't go back, I told you. Oh, I'm being stubborn, I guess, but I don't want to go back. You run along home, Marie. Come back tomorrow. I'll find some way to get your money for you.
All right, ma'am. Sure, I'll come back tomorrow.
Mommy, am I going to grow up into an American?
Yes, of course, darling.
I've never been to America. That doesn't make me a Frenchman, does it? I don't want to be a Frenchman if you're not.
Here, you can read me this letter from Aunt Whitty.
Dear Julie and little Miss Michael, how are you? There's not much news here. Things go along about the same. Julie, I hope you will be interested in the enclosed articles. They were written by an old friend of yours, Ives Towner. He is getting to be quite well known for his research work. You say you do not need money, so please don't be angry about this enclosed check. I'm hoping you will be use part of it I'm hoping you will use part of it to take a boat and visit your Aunt William, who loves you and wants to see you both very much. Mommy, let's go.
You're not going anywhere until you finish that milk.
Monday, we discussed the morphology of the ant. Today, we shall study its polymorphism. Does anybody remember the word polymorphism? Polymorphism is a word designating the existence of several forms of individuals in a species.
Excuse me, Professor Towner. Polymorphism?
Never mind the word, Mr. Williams. It's unimportant. So is the ant, for that matter. It's the theory or the idea of the thing that counts. I should go so far as to add that those of you who have chosen this course as a convenient way of remaining in college while you play football are no more important to us than the ants themselves. Out! I repeat, it's the idea. The society of ants is divided into several classes. There's the female queen, who demands at all times to be the focus of the entire community. Then there's the functional male, whose duty it is to impress the queen with a glorified impression of himself. Then come the soldiers, characterized by huge heads and exaggerated mandibles, whose duty it is to fight and die for the community. I defy you to forget the polymorphism of the ant now. Far below these in order come the slaves, whose duty it is to glut themselves with honey, forming a sort of walking candy store to amuse the ant children. These, we shall say, are comparable to the professors, who glut themselves with the candy of knowledge to feed and amuse the children of the species. A ridiculous and gratuitous form of semi-parasitical existence. What is the purpose of this society? What is the sense of it? You don't know, Miss Lane, any more than I do. We can only guess, stab in the dark, accept the facts and beware of them. Because the longer you live, the more you learn that nothing is certain.
Telephone, Professor Towner. It's evidently important.
Class is not dismissed.
Class, please. My dear young friends, if you will strain the moron tissues of your brains for a moment, I shall impart valuable information. Our friend, Professor Towner, is nuts!
And that's what you broke up my class to tell me?
No. Well, it was also something Aunt William told me. And Ives, I knew you'd want to be warned. She's coming back again. Julie Weir is coming back today. I was afraid, too, you might do something silly, like going to the station and getting everyone talking again.
Agatha, why is it so dark in here?
Save the carpets. Your Aunt William hasn't come downstairs much since you left. She's waiting for you, Miss Julie.
Michael, darling, you wait down here with Agatha until I call you.
Yes, Mommy.
Oh, it's good to have you back. Julie. Julie.
Oh. I did this to you.
Nonsense. It's not your fault.
Oh, it is my fault. I made a mess of all our lives. Yours and mine.
Oh, stop talking silly nonsense. You think my life ruined? If you think that, you're dead wrong. I can safely say that this is the most satisfactory day of my life. It's the day that my silly Julie came back to me. Looking as young and beautiful as ever. We're going to start all over again, Julie. Those past 10 years are forgotten. Wiped out, eh? We're going to have a grand time, you and I.
Oh, yeah. Good for me, Aunt William. You are really. But do you honestly think that anyone can get back to where they were 10 years ago? Do you think so? Really?
I do. And I may be mistaken, but I think there's someone else who feels that way, too.
You haven't seen Michael yet.
No. Where is she? Where is she?
Michael? Michael!
Yes, Mommy?
Come upstairs. The tiger awaits you. She's knock-kneed and spindly and with too many teeth in her mouth, but I like her.
Hello, Aunt William.
Hello there. But I think I like her, too.
Do you like my eyes? They're Daddy's eyes. Mommy says when I grow up, I'm going to be just like my daddy.
Do you want to be?
Of course she wants to be. Her daddy was a brave, wonderful man.
Why have you got a mustache, Aunt William?
Where were we?
We were stabbing in the dark, Professor Towner.
Oh, yes, the colloidal theory. This is an attempt to bring all sciences into one science. Astronomy, biology, medicine. Class is dismissed for the day.
Gotta get out.
Coming, Brenda?
In a minute. Professor Towner,
Yes?
I know how annoyed you must get with this class, including myself. Servant of the people and all that sort of thing, but, well, you oughtn't to have to be in a position where you could be annoyed.
What are you talking about, young woman?
It's this, my father. You know who he is, don't you?
No.
Well, he's ridiculously rich, but he's a nice man anyway. Vice president of practically everything, and incidentally one of the trustees of this dinky little dump. He's in Europe now, you know.
Is he?
Yeah. Well, you mustn't think me impudent, but he knows, and not just through me, what a splendid reputation you've made for yourself as a scientist. And so...
So?
I think he would, well, in fact, I know he would like to make it easier for you to do your scientific work instead of wasting yourself on a lot of kids with soap behind their ears.
Why would he do that?
Because I'd like it.
You would? Why?
It's a long story, Professor Towner.
Can't be very long. You've only been in my class a few months.
Oh, but I watched you all the time last year when I was a freshman, and... Did you ever read Eloise and Abelard? Oh, you mustn't think I'm crazy, but it's true. very much the same story.
That's foolish.
Maybe it is foolish, but I admire you terribly, and... Oh, please forgive me, but it's hard to be clear and simple about a thing like this.
A thing like what? If you're still talking about your father and myself, accept my thanks for your offer, but I don't need it. I'm not Abelard. You're not Eloise. Aren't you play acting just a little, Miss Lane?
We decided to get
lecture about today.
We decided to get another car. Need a 12 in my business. Got to get there sometimes and quick. Nice pie, Mom.
Ives, why don't you break all tradition and come to the faculty dance Friday night?
Tony, how many times must I ask you not to call me Mom?
I have to ask once a year, you know.
And why do you need to get there in the ceramics industry?
Ceramics industry.
Tony just called to the tile business, Mom.
Hiya, Ives.
What was your lecture about today, son?
Oh, polymorphism.
You knock 'em out into the aisles, kid?
Cold.
Oh, by the way, Ives, I see by the papers a friend of ours returned from Europe today on a small, slow boat.
Who? Oh, you mean... Oh.
What are you going to catch this time of day?
I need some whitefish for specimens.
He's still in love with her. I knew it.
Oh, that's absurd, Carol. Nothing really matters to Ives except his work.
That's what you keep telling him.
Listen to her. Carol, the gypsy. Knows when people are in love before they do. Never mind, kid. You're better at rummy than you are at fortune-telling.
Oh, phooey, you think you're so smart just because I said Irma was in love with Hay and then she up and married Ed. Well, I was right. Irma's still in love with Hay and Ives is still in love with Julie.
Carol, you're being ridiculous.
Am I? Well, last month when I spent that weekend in Ives' room, I read everything in his desk.
Carol, you didn't. Well, I never found anything that made me think that.
Well, you just didn't look in the right place.
Hello, Ives.
Julie! Fine to see you. It's my net. Catching whitefish for study.
Aunt William's been telling me what good things you've been doing with your work.
How is Aunt William?
She's better, thank you. How are your mother and Carol?
They're better. I mean, they're fine. Well, goodbye, Julie.
Oh, Ives. This isn't nice of us, you know.
What do you want us to do, Julie?
Couldn't we be a little civilized?
I don't know, Julie.
After all, there must have been something we liked about each other once. There must be plenty of things to talk and laugh about.
Yes, plenty of things. It's no use talking, Julie.
It's no good.
Mommy! Oh, I was scared. I looked everywhere for you.
Ives, this is my daughter, Michael.
How do you do, Miss Shaw? Bye, Julie.
Bye, Ives.
Mommy, who's that man?
Just someone I used to know.
What are you doing here?
I thought perhaps you wouldn't mind driving me home. My car's broken down.
Driving you home from what?
Classes, of course.
You haven't been in any classes today.
Oh, please, Professor Towner. What have I done to make you so rude to me?
Was I rude? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about yesterday. However it sounds to you, I mean it. I love you.
I think you're a nice girl, Miss Lane, but you dramatize. Now you get in the car. I'll drive you home.
Maybe I do dramatize, but what I've got to say must be said. Listen, Ives. It happened a long time ago, and I saw you walking across the campus. And I thought you were a student then. You looked so young, and I was in the library, and...
I know. Reading Eloise and Abelard. The love of a young girl for a sourpuss professor, weren't you?
Yes, I was, but you see, when I saw you walking then, a wonderful thing came to me. I knew that something new and rich was happening to me, something almost holy.
Wait a minute. Almost what?
You mustn't laugh at me, something almost holy.
Oh. That's word for word out of my mouth 10 years ago. It's 3 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's so remarkable about that? It gets to be 3 o'clock quite often. Do you love me yet?
No, I told you I'd never love you.
Okay. You don't mind if I keep on asking?
I don't mind anything. What did you call that music?
Oh, we call it rumba.
That's right.
And we call that stuff drunk making. You've had enough done.
Let's dance. For Joel's own sweet sake, let's dance.
You can't rumba. You don't even know the name of it.
I can do anything.
Mother, what on earth's the matter? I couldn't understand a word.
He still hasn't come home. Oh, honestly, it's too much. I just know he started up again with that horrid old widow.
Oh, now, Mother. Julie may be a great many things, but she's really not old. Come on in and sit down. Relax. He's all right now. Just take it easy.
Ives, where were you? Oh, you had me so worried. Where did you go with Julie?
Julie? Gosh, class is almost over.
Ives, where were you?
I had a rendezvous up the road a ways, 3 o'clock in the morning, with my other self.
I'm going to find out for sure, but I still think it's Julie.
His other self, huh?
But I've been promising myself these last 3 years that one fine day I'd be over to see you, Aunt William. But you know Ives takes up most of my time. Lately, this last week, I mean, I've had more than ever to do. Ives has been busy nights until 2 and 3 nearly every morning.
You mean that Ives has been busy over something besides his teaching?
Yes, something decidedly extracurricular.
Oh, Mother, you don't know that. As a matter of fact, Mother hasn't the slightest idea what Ives has been doing every evening.
And so she came here to find out. Well, Emily Towner, I'm glad something brought you here for a cup of tea.
Goodness, Mrs. Towner, did you think we'd been hiding Ives here?
Well, no, I didn't really think that. You see, I know Ives so very well, and I'm certain he wouldn't be so unkind as to amuse himself at the cost of hurting someone.
You know, Emily, sometimes I get a little lost over the sound of so much cultured English. What did you mean by that?
Why, nothing unfriendly, of course, just that I happen to know how Ives feels on this subject.
What subject?
Why, Ives and Julie, of course.
Mother, I think, in fact, I know that Dr. Monroe is expecting you for your therapeutic treatment. It was nice of you to let us come out, William.
I just wanted to say that Ives feels that bygones are bygones and the past is the past, and that his real life lies ahead of him now, with someone else, perhaps. Someone fresh and young. Someone unencumbered, if you understand.
Well, come along, Mother. Goodbye.
Well, Aunt William, it's been nice seeing you again. And you, Julie.
1 minute, Emily Towner. I've got something to say to you. The next cup of tea you drink in my house will be slightly flavored with rat poison. Julie, you surely don't believe that she knows what's going on in Ives' mind?
No, I don't believe she knows anything about Ives. The horrible part of it is that what she said about me is true. I guess when I came here, maybe somewhere in the back of my mind was the silly hope that I could be young again. And even that Ives and I could like each other again. I don't quite know where I got that silly idea, but I'm going back to New York tomorrow.
Going to New York?
Oh, Michael, darling, I forgot you were here. Yes, I think we'll have to go back to New York. Would you mind?
Why do we have to go to New York?
Julie, this doesn't strike me as a thing to be impulsive about.
I'm not being impulsive. I'm just being the person I suddenly realized I am. Operator, how many times must I give you... Hello? Hotel Crichton? Mr. Howard Lane, please. Father? How are you, darling? Oh, I'm fine. Oh, but I'm not. Well, can't I telephone you unless I'm in a mess? Well, that's to say that I think I'm going to be married. I think it'll be in a week. Well, I have to say think because he hasn't proposed yet, but he will. No, darling, he's not just a callow college infant. He's that professor I wrote you about, the scientist. So this is what you can do about it. Get him a job with the plant in London. Oh, no, of course he's not an oil man. He's a biologist. Oh, well, darling, of course they'll use a biologist if you say so. Yes? Thanks, darling. Now, run along to your meeting now. Oh, no, it's nothing like that business with the chauffeur. I told you. Number 1, he's a professor. Number 2, I love him.
Think I'm going to examine you on the paramecium today, don't you? Well, I am. Miss Teasdale, describe the difference between the paramecium and the amoeba.
Well, the paramecium kind of goes up and around
at the same time, kind of spiral-like.
I know. I'll tell you about the paramecium. The paramecium behaves very strangely, feeling more and more the need of stimulus as it grows older.
That'll do, Mr. Williams.
In this way, it becomes, at advanced stages, a sort of parasite, feeding on the young.
Where did you glean this information? From Wheeler or Eleanor Glynn?
It goes through a phase of trial and error, which often results in a violent action.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah?
Have you got a fork yet?
Not yet.
Wait a minute, I'll be right with you.
Okay.
You omitted one significant observation, Budge Williams. The paramecium has the talent of knocking the tar out of an amoeba any day. Class is dismissed. Until Friday, think of the paramecium. And maybe the paramecium will think of you.
And Professor George P. Stockwell, I'm afraid you're going to have to be treasurer again this year.
Oh, the devil, must I?
Well, it's your own fault, you know, for being such a brilliant economics professor. Now, let's see. That means that you and Smithy and all the respective wives will be table number 6. Dear, I do hope this is right. I only have to use my brain once a year, and it's an awful strain on it.
Where do I sit?
Why, Ives, are you going? Why, you
It's
never...
a faculty dance, isn't it? I'm a member of the faculty. Why shouldn't I? Where are you going to sit, Miss Osterman?
Why, I'm at table number 6, Professor Towner, but I'm going with Professor Stockwell.
That's all right. Put me at table 6. Do you rumba, Miss Osterman?
Oh, no.
Don't worry. It isn't hard.
Why, Ives, who are you going to bring? I mean, I wasn't expecting...
With a great help
well,
to him.
It must be an alumna, you know.
Oh, I don't think Julie Shaw would want to come. Her aunt's very ill, you know.
Hello, Julie? How are you?
Ives.
Yes, this is Ives. There are a couple things I want to tell you. Pleasant things this time. No, I meant I want to apologize for being such a moody dope the other night when we met at the creek. There's something I want to ask you. There's a silly faculty dance Friday night at the country club. I've never been to one in my life, but I thought it might be sort of fun.
Well, yes. I'd love it. I'd love it. All right, then. 9 o'clock on Tuesday. I mean Friday. Goodbye. Good night. Goodbye. William. William. What's the last thing on earth you'd expect me to be doing of a Friday night? I'm going to a dance. With Ives.
Julie!
Well, here we are.
Sort of remarkable, isn't it? Ives, do you remember how you used to read me the Songs of Solomon? For hours?
Gosh, I was a dope. Julie, I just realized the other day when I left you at the stream what a bore I've always been. It's fun being able to talk to you again. I've got lots of things to tell you. Laugh about. You asked me to be civilized, didn't you? Well, I'm just learning to be. I'm sort of proud of it. It's really gonna rain.
I'm one of his students, Brenda Lane.
Well, how do you do, Miss Lane? I was just marking Professor Towner's examination papers, and I'm very happy to meet you. 97 on your paper. It's so seldom my son and I have the pleasure of meeting someone who's really interested in her work. And your father's one of the trustees, isn't he? Won't you sit down?
Well, Professor Towner isn't in. I'm afraid I must be running along. You see, I wanted to do some research work on my own, and I thought perhaps he wouldn't mind helping me.
Why, no, I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Look, why don't you go down there tonight and get him?
Go down where?
Oh, he's at a faculty dance. He's never been to one before, and I'm sure he'd give anything to get out of it.
Is he, alone?
No, but that doesn't matter.
Who's he with?
Mrs. Julie Shaw.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Towner. I'll try and get down there.
Yes, do that.
Mary Teasdale! Mary! Come here. Who's Julie Shaw?
Why, I don't know, Brenda. Oh, yes, I do. I believe she was someone who used to live in Lynborough. Her name was Judy Weir.
Is that all you know about her?
Yes, Brenda. Could I do something?
What could you do? Dance with me, Butch.
I thought you couldn't come.
Dance with me. That woman Ives Towner brought here. What do you know about her?
What don't I know about her and our pal Towner?
Butch, tell me. Tell me, I've got to know.
Well, they were engaged once. She jilted him. Come back. Looks as if it started all over again.
Remember the time I made a fool out of myself at school when old Marshal found that poem I'd written for you? Gosh, I can hear him read it to the class. My only love, you are music down the midnight street, remember?
Yes. Yes.
Gosh, I was a dope. No wonder you left me. No wonder you married Michael Shaw. I'm not jealous. I could have killed him then, but I know why you fell in love with him. He was gay and slippery and wild. I'm that now. 10 years too late. It's sort of funny when you stop and think of it, isn't it?
Doesn't matter, does it? Julie, stop running. What's the matter?
I still love you.
Julie.
What do you think?
What? We're engaged.
We're engaged to be married tonight.
Well, that's more like it. Now I can get
William,
out.
don't do that.
You cadaverous Philistine. I've got to be on my feet for this. You mean it, Julie? Do you mean it, Ives?
Yes, we mean it. We're driving to Upton now, as soon as I change.
Oh. Hadn't you better wait for the storm?
Of course not. The storm's our pal. We're not going to take any chances. We're going to be married tonight.
Oh. This is Dr. Monroe's best brew. Aloe, cascara, belladonna. It's all we've got, but we are going to celebrate. Here. Bottoms up.
I give it about 10 more minutes.
Oh, no, I'm not going to wait for any shirt. I'll take it rare. We're starting in 5 minutes if I have to get married in Agatha's bathrobe.
What'd you say? Mary? Is this us? Ives Towner and Julie Weir? I don't believe it.
I think it's us. I hope it's us.
Well, I'm only an innocent bystander, but I think it'd be a good idea if you were to get some clothes on and go to Upton, instead of making a lot of sickening talk about it.
Hey, Michael. Michael, darling, what's the matter?
Mommy, please don't.
Don't what, darling?
Man, that dreadful old man.
Oh, darling, you hardly know Mr. Towner. What have you got against him except that he's tall?
I can see what she means.
My father was a brave, lovely man. Not a tall, skinny thing like that.
I'll take charge of this. Agatha, come to me. Now, be a good child. It's all right, now don't you worry.
Take my daddy.
You behave like this.
My daddy. She is my daddy.
He's here, all right.
Mama, this is silly.
Don't try to stop me, Carol. I know what I'm doing. Where's Ives? Ives?
Mother.
Mother! Ives!
Try to be a little calm.
I am calm.
Hello, Mother. Hello, Carol. What's the matter?
Oh, Ives, that's what I want to ask you. I've heard all about it. How dare you insult that nice, scholarly Brenda Lane?
Insult her? Who said that?
She did. She came right to me. Ives, certainly you're not planning to marry Julie. To come back to her after all these years like a weak little puppy.
Pardon me, Mother. You happen to be in her house.
It is not her house, it's Aunt William's house, the poor old lady whose heart and health she broke by being a selfish little...
All right, Mother. Carol, maybe you can tell me why you're here.
Well, Mother feels that, right or wrong, you understand, that...
It's that Ives has been made wretched enough by you. You've nearly ruined his life already.
How do you feel about it, Tony?
Well, I sort of feel it's none of my business.
That's nice of you.
But, well, I can't help feeling if it means so much to Mother Towner, then maybe you and Julie better give in. I hate to see you making fools of yourselves in front of the whole town. For one thing, you'd be surprised how it affects my tile business.
Of course. Julie and I are going to be married tonight. Mother, I don't think you understand. I don't think you've ever understood. We love each other. We got off to a bad start, but we love each other.
Very well, Ives. But I hope you understand what this means to me. Come, Carol, dear. Come, Tony.
Ives, I don't know whether or not you're making the right decision, but I do know one thing. A man has only one mother.
Ready?
Ready to be married or ready to be hanged? couldn't tell by your tone.
I'm sorry, darling.
Professor Towner. I've got something important to tell you. Maybe we should be alone.
Everybody wants to be alone with me tonight. Tell it here, Budge.
Well, after you left the country club tonight, Brenda Lane was pretty upset about what she'd done. She was ashamed, I guess, and she wanted to see you. I took her to your mother's house.
Yes, I know. My operatives have already informed me.
Well, this may be funny to you because you don't care anything about her, but I do. She didn't want to come here tonight, but I brought her here because I think you ought to see her and do some explaining. You see, half an hour ago, she tried to kill herself because of you.
Where is she? Is she all right?
If you want to see her, she'll be in the car.
I believe she really tried to kill herself. I'm not in love with her. She's known that all along.
I didn't love Michael Shaw either. But look what that did to our lives. Oh, don't you see? We can't go back, Ives. Oh, darling, I put us off on the wrong road 10 years ago. And we can't ever get back. Ives, go away. Quickly.
I won't go. I won't give up. Julie, you were willing to marry me before this happened. We can't quit now. Let's forget everything. Let's go to Upton.
No. It'd be the same sort of selfish thing I've done all my life.
Julie, be selfish once with me.
Budge.
Do you really love Ives Towner?
Of course I love him. I love him with all my heart and soul.
He and I are going to be married tonight. Do you think you had any right to prevent it?
I don't know anything about rights. I only know I can't live without him.
You sure?
I was never sure of anything. I can't live without him.
Neither can I.
What did you mean? What did you mean? Well, don't kill him! Blow up! Blow up! No, I didn't try to kill myself. I only wanted him to say so to get him back. Please, I don't want to die. I want to live.
You want to live?
Yes.
Without him?
Yes.
No, Michael, you're not going to sleep till you've said it once again. Who'd you love?
My mother.
Who else?
Ives Towner.
Ah. Are they married?
They never even got to Upton until 25 minutes after 3.
But they got there.